mechanisms in the focuser, an abandoned missionary in wait. Our movement embraces what we call taking charge of works or missionaries. In this occasion, one of them is an Argentinian, and it is in the United States, at least at the time of the sample of this video, making what the organization of my movement has put on him, and he has sent there making his step in the contact toward other cultures of other worlds. Armand Aizama knows, and he has been prepared in Argentina for to be in the United States, making part, on one hand, we can say, abandoned for another way in waiting, and for another way as a mechanism that more than to be conscious of all, he is indexes and is middleman among what happens there, related with us and with the superior siblings of the ships. In this video, we will see something of his movement there. Before being a correspondent to the United States, he got ready in several levels of assimilation of energy. I ordered that he would be transported from ship to ship and of system to system, also from dimension to dimensions and diverse realities. Inside of this type of ships, I ordered to transport him where in the same ones he was and occupied several binary dimensions of the earth, where we were planning certain situations to carry out in the dimension binary earth. I put to him direct contact towards superior siblings of the ships, but basically to take preparation of organization and of exact obedience. That is to say, he learned the cosmic basic discipline and the knowledge of all the routes and orbits of the diverse ships of diverse confederations. He has become a link of mechanism of work, of our mechanism here in Argentina and him in the United States. Before it was knocked down the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, so much Armand as other members of our group, we were correspondents to make diverse works, all among those that were procedures inside of same one towers, twins ones, codes called themselves mechanisms in the focuser, among so many other duties and works that we had to do there. We see here pictures also taken out in Los Angeles, where we also made our works to the superior siblings of the ships in coordination with New York City, and one of the plans consisted in those that the superior siblings had already announced us, that of the Twin Towers that justified our steps over there to lead those mechanisms or devices that had several functions in several parts of the Twin Towers, but it is really made that this mechanism transported them toward one of the so many dimensional platforms of the focuser. That will be the same United States in the future, in an area called Mechanical Area Majestic Splendor. We see here the images in those moments of our steps, of the ships that guided us, or the ships of the Chronos directed for the sibling Chronos superior heroes travel and ask. This is to understand in the following way that the Twin Towers of agreement to the scope of the Chronos, they have been transported, but in the binary dimension common one, it can have seen as demolished or knocked down or destroyed. They had been taken completely with people and everything besides of the supposed attackers of the airplane's boom. All of them are in the dimension of the area Mechanic Majestic Splendor. That has been our task in that time, and that people are all, they were selected for many functions, those ones which no longer have to complete them here. All of them will remain there for a certain time. Then will be transferred toward another level, but with no return of it. It won't be worthy reasons for it of a lot of evolutionary value. I don't seek that this is believe it or not. I only show the facts as the physical test that I have, and the teachings and knowledge that this has left us as group of contact. This method has been more or less as follows. The diverse ships of the Confederation of Worlds in evolution, they have transported us from Argentina toward the California and Los Angeles, and from there toward New York City. So much in the plane or the means of binary transport, we were conscious that we were inside of the same ships of the superior systems. Inside of it, we know perfectly that all we were seeing everywhere was only virtual images. We were seeing that reality is like only one more, no more than that, without putting too much importance at this reality. But more to that, they projected us to ships, and then in those experiences we had to live with the mechanisms and devices in the Twin Towers. But before all were already other devices, let us say, of other civilizations, sectarian groups, religious, scientific, military and extraterrestrial, as even contactees, mediums and diverse beings. Ours consisted in leaving our mechanism only, then by means of the temporary ships, a year later of the disaster, to return the same ships in outer bodies, physical and mental bodies, and in that way by means of other ships, already called them this one as Ketvar, we had to transport people that had been suspended in the time and the matter inside of a mantle of energy called Perneano. We transported their bodies and their minds as diverse substances of them, and as we have completed our part, there is this. Of course that it is a lot of complex more parts, but here I only give you a brief synthesis of it, a sample only. The general message of this is to that has not been a misfortune what happened, not from this focus, but the life or the death. They are no longer everything that we know in the terrestrial world, but rather the purpose is another one. And this people is much better than before. There is one guarantee that we cannot guarantee it to you, but that all of you will get that arrival to that reality in their moment. I complete my moment in this information.